All right, so welcome back. This is episode 6, and today we have a new guest star, another good friend of mine here, and I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
What's up? What's up? How's it going? My name is Adiam. Nice to be here.
Yeah, so tell us a bit more about yourself, where you at now.
Yeah, so I'm a student at Johns Hopkins. I am a senior here, studying molecular and cellular biology. And yeah,
Yeah. What track are you on?
I'm on the yeah. So I'm on the pre-med track. You
Mhm.
know, medicine is what we're trying to get into after this.
Yeah. Yeah. Got a lot of time for sure. Got a lot of time.
Yeah, a lot
You
of
have my
time
respect.
left.
You have my respect for that. I can't. Medicine was not for me, as I realized at a very young age.
Yeah, yeah. It's not for everybody. You gotta know, if you really want to do it. But yeah.
So, what would you like to tell the audience more so about your journey? Or I guess what is important to you, or what defines Adiam?
Okay, so to give a little background about myself, I was born and raised in Ethiopia.
Shout out.
Shout out back home,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the youngest of three, so I got two older siblings.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I was born and raised there, finished high school, and then I initially enrolled in university there, and I finished like my first semester,
Yeah.
and then like political situations started getting cooked.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened.
Damn.
And then me and my family decided, okay, it's
Mhm.
time to head out. So that's when I moved to the States. Came here 2021.
Okay, so like you've been here like a good 5 years.
Good 5 years. Yeah. Yeah, I came here at New Year's and first enrolled in like community college at Silver Spring, Maryland. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Silver Spring, man.
So you left Ethiopia to come back to Ethiopia.
To come back, yep.
Yeah.
Went right back to little Ethiopia, bro. It's like,
Yeah.
I was like, damn, did we make a U-turn? Like, this is
Yeah. Hopped on the plane just to go nowhere.
yeah.
Mhm.
It felt like just like back home, And that was kind of refreshing because, when you're new, you want to see, kind of familiar faces
Yeah,
and stuff.
the culture.
Yeah, it was nice. And I finished community college my 2 years, and that's when I transferred to Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been quite an eventful 5 years for sure.
Yeah, like it's been a hell of a ride.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
So how would you say you feel about America? How has that like transition been?
It was good. Like I had an idea of what America was like because I've been here twice before. Once when I was 6 and once when I was 12. I came here for summer because I have like family here in Maryland. So I kind of had an idea, but like as far as living here, it was kind of tough at first.
Yeah.
Because also the timing that I came, like it was during COVID, so.
Yeah, that's probably like one of the worst times.
Yeah, it was like everybody was locked down. You can't go out. Like everything online, it was like whoa.
Yeah. Now that's because I feel like, I mean, I was born back home too, but I came a lot younger. So I feel like for me, I've been a lot more connected to, I guess, like America than I have back home because I hadn't gone back in like 18 years until like last summer. So I feel like for me, I kind of always felt some distance to, I guess, like my roots back home.
Yeah, no, I get that because it's hard, when you're born and raised here, you kind of feel disconnected to that side, and then when you come here, you don't really feel like you fit in the American culture. It's like it's hard to balance between the two.
Yeah, it's two worlds to it, like two sides, and I think balancing that definitely causes like a lot of like internal turmoil for people that kind of have to balance two sides of it. And I think that's not necessarily just like maybe like being Habesha American, but just like anybody that does immigrate in general.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I feel like my friends that I kind of got to know after I came here really helped me kind of smooth the transition.
Showed you what America was like.
And they were like, like we said, Habeshas are all over Silver Spring, and they were all kind of, they had the same story as me. They were just like here a couple of years earlier, so kind of hanging out with them and hanging out with cousins and family as well
Yeah.
kind of helped the transition for sure.
Yeah, for sure. What would you say was the biggest culture shock? Like you came here and you're like, y'all do that over here?
The biggest culture shock, I'd say, everybody's pretty individualistic, like back home, there's people in your house pretty much every day.
It's not your house.
It's not your house.
Yeah.
It's like an episode from Friends, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you see an uncle
Guest
pull up.
appearance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cousins. Unannounced, by the way. They just...
You wake up, they're already eating.
Yeah, they're already there. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not... You don't see that much, of that happening here. So I'd say, yeah, that was pretty surprising at first.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting because that's something we talk about, like, in some of my classes. Like, there's, like, the Western lens where it's, like, more individualistic societies, kind of, like, you got to put yourself first, this and that. Versus, like, back home and, like, in a lot of other countries, like you said, it's collectivist ideals, values. Like, you put your family and your community first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It definitely is a huge difference because, like, some things, like, here it's like in America it's like, oh, you need to put yourself first, you gotta like take care of yourself, this and that. But like back home you do that, you're selfish.
Exactly. Yeah. You're gonna be labeled selfish, so you have to kind of you have to give a lot to a lot of people. Yeah.
Do you find yourself like having trouble balancing both sides of that at times?
Yeah, for sure. I think, because since I haven't gone back home since I came here, so I feel like I've started to kind of adopt the American way. And people back home are starting to notice, especially my friends and family back home, because I don't call that often, or, we don't like connect as much because life here gets busy.
It does.
And I think that's one of the reasons people get like too caught up in themselves too. Because you always got to just like work.
Yeah.
Or like do, schoolwork and stuff. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's another thing because like it really does get busy. Like it's just so much, and I feel like maybe like back home you don't realize that as much because I feel like some people back home like they think like I'm just living it up.
Yeah.
I've got money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not at all. Quite the opposite.
Quite the opposite, man. Yeah, money don't grow on trees in America.
Yeah.
They picture. Same as me. Everybody back home thinks I'm just living it up.
Yeah.
And just, Hollywood style. That's what, because all they have in their minds is like the movie version.
The movies, the shows.
Hell, I had that too. I'm not going. I thought that's what I was gonna get when I came here, but nope, that was not the case.
Yeah, like you have like the little American dream.
Exactly.
But then you get over here and it's quite literally Coming to America.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy movie.
It's the Eddie Murphy one.
Yeah, for sure. So what would you say in your time here, like what's one of the biggest things you've kind of learned or kind of had to realize?
Yeah, so coming here and like spending time kind of learning, we learned a lot of lessons throughout the way.
You got some wisdom.
A lot of wisdom, because there was a lot of up and downs. There was a lot for me to learn. And I think like the biggest takeaway that I have taken so far, and I got this from my mentor actually when I was in Montgomery College. And he said just, never compare yourself to others. Everybody has their own path, their own way in life. Not everybody in the same path. So just focus on you, do the hard work, and with the help of God, everything's gonna work out.
Shout out God.
Yeah.
I think that's big because I feel like, especially in a place like Hopkins, that's all people do. It's competitive. There's comparison.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you get into spaces like that where there's very like high achieving people or people that are very accomplished, it's really easy to take a sit back and like look at me like, damn, like am I behind? Like what am I doing here?
Yeah, for sure. Like the same happened to me. Like after I transferred from community college, I was like, damn, everybody seemed like they publishing papers, they're in a lab, they're doing their things, and I'm like, yo, this is actually like a little crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, every time I kind of that feeling creeps up, and it's normal to feel that way. Like everybody feels that way at some point, but you gotta just take a step back, and then look how far you've come. Because if you told me like 4 or 5 years ago that I would end up here, I'd be like, you're joking.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's the perspective. That's like one of the biggest things with that, because like you go to class, they're like, oh, I published something, like I found a cure or whatever, this and that.
Yeah.
And then I'm just over here. I binge watched a whole season of Invincible yesterday. Finally finished the series, you know, and it makes you wonder, like, am I supposed to be here?
Exactly. Yeah, and you know, everybody got their own story, their own path, so you can't really judge. You know, you can't be like, oh, that person, they had this and this, so that's why they're here. You never know what they gone through, so
yeah. That's with that. It's like you only see people for certain chapters of your lives, so it's really difficult to kind of compare them, because you don't know what their book is, or like the whole what the whole story looks like. You just know this small chapter, and for that, all you know is that you and them start in the same place. So it's very hard to actually get a good reading, or just be able to accurately see what's going on such like a minuscule portion of their life. Yeah,
and I think the Habesha culture kind of contributes to this kind of mindset, because you know, the Habesha parents, you already know what I'm gonna say. Like, you're never like, you're always compared to like your cousin, your siblings, like your neighbor.
I'm that person sometimes. I can't lie.
You
know, like I'm the one to get compared to, and I'm like, please don't.
You don't do it. No. You're actually cooking your kids, man.
Yeah.
Because that's just gonna either like create a very like toxic competitive nature, or like resentment. Like some kids are gonna just check out and be like, you know what, I'm done. So it's very hard to get out of that.
I agree with that, because like I see, like, you mean well by it, you know, like it's like if you want your kid to have like a certain future, like obviously you're gonna compare them to somebody who has accomplished things, this and that, but the way in which it is done is where I'm kind of like, that's where I kind of diverge from it, because like all that kind of does is just like has them kind of feel like you have to be that person.
Yeah.
And for one, nobody's the same. So that person ends up where they are because of the very specific details of how their life went, this and that. And for one, you can't replicate that at all. Like that's God's doing. You can't replicate God.
Yeah.
So with that, it's like you kind of just setting them up for failure, because it's like, I want you to be just like this person, but they're not.
Exactly. And some parents, you know, maybe want to use their kids to kind of flex on other parents as well.
Yeah.
And that kind of contributes, and it's just makes the children have like, they feel the need to perform in order to feel like seen, you know, and they might not even end up liking what they get into at the end.
Yeah, and I think one of the dangers with that is that, like, if that, for one, like, people are more than just their accomplishments, you know, like, you are more than whatever degree you have, whatever job you have, this and that, but I think the danger in that kind of action and kind of, like, whatever you're portraying with that, I think the danger in that is that you automatically kind of attribute their value to their success and the things that they do, right?
Yeah.
And one thing about life is that it never goes to plan. Like, you never go 100%.
Yep.
You'll be lucky to go 50%, but there's always something that goes wrong. So with that, if you attribute your kids' value, or you tell them that you are only as good as what you can do, right? Yeah. With that, when you kind of attribute their value, that's what they see themselves as good for. That's what they see themselves as. So then when you get to the point where life humbles you, you fail a test or you don't get into school or whatever, it like shatters your whole perception of yourself, of your identity, because it's like, if all you know yourself for is like being smart or being great at school, when school gets rough and you don't have it, what are you?
Exactly. I see that happen so many times. Like, like students get shook so much. Like you said, when things go unexpected, if you don't have a base, if you don't have a strong foundation of like who you are as a person, and if you just cling on one thing and make it your whole personality, once that thing goes, you're gonna have a real problem. So I was fortunate enough to kind of be raised in a household where they allowed us to kind of pick whatever we wanted to, you know. They never pressured us to become one thing. I mean, they were strict in that they understood we needed to like be educated and all that, but never forced us, never pushed anything on us. You know, they raised us with like good foundation, good faith as well, because you need that when things go wrong. You know? So I feel blessed in that terms, but not a lot of people have that, unfortunately.
If you could choose, like, what would you have done if, let's say, you didn't choose medicine? Like, if you could choose anything, what would you have been?
Anything?
Yes. You could say like a soccer player, ballerina, whatever you want to say.
Ballerina. I don't know if I'm flexible enough to be a ballerina. But...
Or what? You gonna be a jiu-jitsu?
No.
MMA?
I don't think I would do it as a career. I enjoy that as a hobby. Yeah. And I recently picked it up. I picked it up like 2-3 years ago. And I enjoy it as a hobby, but I think when I was a kid, like kid, like 6, 7, or 8. Okay, you're doing. I walked right into that one, yeah. But right around that age, I wanted to be a zoologist. Out of all things, I just loved going out and I was that kid collecting insects, animals, whatever, you know.
Did you watch? You remember that show Zumba Food?
Zumba what?
Zumba Food. It was nah, you didn't watch that?
No.
It was that one with I think it was like the Kratt brothers. It was like those two like brothers that would. It was the lemur with the lemur.
Oh, is it animation or like it turns into animation?
I think sometimes.
Yeah. Maybe I must have forgotten the name or something.
Yeah. It was just like the little picture of the lemur from
Yeah, that was my dream. Like I was like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
I just want to go Amazon. I want to go jungle and like just go crazy. But yeah, I kind of grew out of that, and I think in my like recent years, I really started to get into music after that. So if everything was sunshine and rainbows, you might have seen me be a singer-songwriter, maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
What about in the future?
Oh no, I don't think. I think that ship for sale right now. But
yeah, you could like moonlight. You know, doctor by day, go.
Doctor by day, singer by night.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, you never know.
Put a little mask on, have a little pseudonym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pop up in a masked singer, you never know. You never know. But yeah, I still enjoy it as a hobby. Like I said, it's good to have like multiple hobbies. But yeah, that's what I think would have happened. My mom would be blown. But yeah, that's what I would have been.
Yeah. Nah, I get that, because like with the hobbies and kind of being able to be versatile, that's like that was what my dad did a lot. Like, you know, like I can like I picked up pretty much everything for no reason. Like I can like roller skate. He had me doing like ice skating lessons, this and that. Swimming, that's another story. But
just that one thing.
Yeah, you know, I had every Infinity Stone except that one.
Except that one, yeah.
But I think it's definitely good to like diversify your interests, you know.
For sure. Because
at the end of the day, work and school will always be there. But what you do outside of that time is really what determines your mental a lot more.
100. I agree with that, because I think that's one thing I wish my parents did more with us, you know, back home, because it was just like school and that's it, you know, like they didn't really care much for hobbies, and there weren't any kind of places you can go to be fair, to get those like, you know, get that kind of education. So I tell them now, and they're like, you know, maybe you can do that to your kids. That's what they say, and I'm like, for sure. Like, I want to put my kids into like different things that they can get into. Yeah,
I think that's what my dad was doing, because like here, like it's so much easier to get into stuff. Like, if you want to play tennis, go to Target, get a couple rackets, get some tennis balls, go to the court. With like roller skating, go buy some from Target. Go to the beach.
Shout out Target.
Yeah, Target got everything. But yeah, it's a lot easier to get into it, and I think that's partly why my dad might have been able. He had more energy into doing that, because, like you said, like back home you don't have as much opportunity to do stuff, you know, or you can't really break into those outlets as easily. So I guess when you're in America, do as the Americans do.
Exactly. And the white people, they got it right, man. They know they put their kids in everything, and I think that's a good decision.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. My dad had put us in music school.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it was like my freshman year of high school. Like, I don't sing unless it's in the shower, and that's like that's if I'm feeling good. But like, I don't sing like that. I had choir. Like we were doing choir there.
Yeah.
Did not last very long. But like I picked up saxophone, and I was like,
saxophone.
I know. Like when would I ever pick up a saxophone? You know.
Yeah.
But like looking back now, I wish that I kind of stuck with it more. But it's like with a lot of things that your parents kind of have you do as a kid, you're like, I don't want to do this. I'm like, this is too much work. Like I just want to enjoy myself, you know. Yeah. But like you look back, it's like, damn. I should have done it.
I should have, you might have joined a jazz band or something.
Yeah, like I could have been out there on the street just playing a little saxophone. Yeah. You know?
Now that's real. Like I always wanted to get a guitar or to be able to play the piano. And I used to bug my dad, like, let me, get into like music school or like something like that. Yeah. But they were afraid it would kind of take away too much of my attention in a way. And also, it was probably like too expensive as well. So but an instrument, like knowing how to play an instrument, I think would be so tough. Yeah, we have we had a keyboard in the house. You know, like that random motivation that hits you every 3 months. I'll like go. I need to learn the full song.
Go on YouTube, look up the song. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Practice for like 30 minutes. Close it. Yeah. Keyboard just gets dust until that motivation hits again. Random months later. Random, and it'd be like craziest times. I know. Like 3 a.m. Yeah. Kind of hits you. Yeah, you know that 3 a.m. motivation. You're like, motivation, I'm gonna get my life together. Yeah. Hop off the bed, do like 30 push-ups. Yeah.
You gotta start with the push-ups.
Yeah. And then you're like, I'm gonna do this. Go to sleep. You wake up. It's 2 p.m. and it's like,
you know what?
It's Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah. You're like, let me just chill for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. But I think back to the point with like comparison and academics, like my parents were definitely big on like the whole academics thing, and I think that was something that I was like really known for, kind of identified myself with. And then after a while, it got to the point where I was just like, is this it? You know, like I don't really want to just be like a book person. And then I kind of just didn't really. I just tried to enjoy myself. Like I would take more pleasure in what I would do outside of class than in class. And I guess my motivation in class didn't really, it was kind of just like lacking. And I just didn't care to really exceed at that point, because it was just like, as long as I pass, as long as I get to the next grade, graduate, get this diploma, it is what it is. There wasn't that, like that need to excel as much in a sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear that. Yeah, same with me as well. Like, it was very big in my parents' eyes, because, back in their time, education was a luxury. Just like we see these kind of things, as a luxury thing for us back then. Not everybody was getting educated. Yeah. They like see that as a luxury thing. So that was the kind of mindset they had. So, and that's what happened.
Yeah, I think. Like when you have something that is just not readily available to you, it is a luxury, like you said. It's like you wish you had it, but you can't really control it. So I guess the next best thing you can do is make sure your kids have it.
Make sure your kids got it, yeah.
And like I feel like my dad, because like it would get to the point where like I just wasn't really trying, and like with like classes and stuff, like. My grades weren't terrible, but like they weren't as good as they could have been, like if I really applied myself. And he would definitely get like upset and mad, and I was like, "Hey, I'm still in school, like I'm still here. What are we mad about?
Could always be worse. Yeah,
it could always be worse. It definitely could have been better, but it would like he would definitely be upset about that. And like as I've gotten older, I can kind of see like had I locked in a bit more, maybe I could have done whatever. Like I could have gone someplace else, but I don't really regret that part of it because at the end of the day, things worked out. Like I'm at where I'm at now. Yeah. It worked out in the end, you know. But it's definitely something like as you get older, you kind of like I see what they were talking about. They were right about that one.
Yeah, the more you grow up, the more those lessons ring true. You're
yeah.
And I find myself giving the same lessons to like my younger cousins, and I'm like, whoa.
Mm-hmm. I know.
We're in that stage now, yeah.
Yeah, like when I'm talking to my sisters, because it's like, because one of my dad's favorite lines were, one day you're going to understand.
Yeah,
he's
one day, when you got kids,
you're
gonna,
He's like, you don't understand now. He's like, I'm trying to help you out. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. He's like, you'll understand one day. Yeah. Right now, no. And I think I'm getting there.
That day is coming.
Yeah.
But I think, every one of us need to go through that, you know, because, we didn't always listen to our parents, but the lessons you get from that kind of help shape who you are. Mm-hmm. And, if you just stick through it, everything, like you said, will turn out okay.
Yeah, I think it definitely is something that just takes time. But at the end of the day, like, your journey is your journey. It's yours to take, you know. As much as maybe some parents may want to, like, do the work for you, you can't. Because the thing is, like, if somebody else is doing all the work for you, when you are not around that person anymore and it's up to you, what are you going to do, you know? Mm-hmm. There's no experience, there's no lessons learned for you to be able to apply what you need to do.
Yeah. If you've been called a lawyer your life, and then all of a sudden you're shoved into the real world, it's a bad combination.
And that's usually how it is, because the easier you are on yourself, the harder life is on you. Yeah. And life is it can be pretty hard at times, but if it's like if you had like a free trial of life, like the first 18 years, that's 18 years built up. As soon as that free trial ends and you get that premium subscription, it's
cooked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just went up to like max boss level.
Mm-hmm. And there was zero experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's the thing with life. Kind of, it takes a long time. It's short, but at the same time, it's long. You know, because you don't really realize it in the moment, but as the time goes on, it's like, damn. You know, like, I find myself, like, reminiscing a lot, like, high school. Yeah. Not sometimes, like, undergrad, but, like, high school when I was a kid, like, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, and you kind of think about, what if I had done things differently? Yep. What if I've done this and that? Mm-hmm. And I catch myself thinking that sometimes, too, but then I just look at where I am now, and then I just, instead of feeling regret, I try and feel like gratitude, you know, and like appreciate where I've come. So
I think I definitely get that. I reminisce from time to time, but I wouldn't say I have like regrets in my life. Sometimes I definitely wonder, like, if I had like done this, like maybe things would be different and stuff. But I don't really have regrets in a sense, because like, I'm happy where I'm at now, and those things that happened, like, you replay the situations in your mind, like, if only I had the knowledge I knew now then.
Oh, back then it would have been over.
Yeah, I would have been like, I would be unstoppable. Yeah. But I think with that, one of the things is that the only reason you have the knowledge you have now is because of said experience. Yes. You know, experience is the best teacher.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes lessons, you don't realize the value of a lesson until it comes back to you a while later, and it's like, oh, I actually know this already. I don't need to go through it again. Yeah, for sure. So in your life and the lessons that you have learned, or the experiences that you have had, what would you say have been like the biggest things that have helped you work through things?
I would say one of the biggest things that like helped me get centered were like, number one is family. Mm-hmm. I'm blessed to have like a solid family I can rely on, and always supportive. Like I said, I also have two siblings, older siblings that I look up to, so I kind of have easy in a sense because
you're the youngest.
I'm the youngest.
Yeah.
I know you're the oldest.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a different dynamic for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And I see like they have gone through a lot of hurdles, and I kind of just learn from what they have gone through.
Yeah. You have all the answers already.
Okay, maybe not everything, but I have seen, it's definitely an advantage, I think, to be the
You got a study guide.
Yeah. I got the study guide. I got, just like the avatars right before you lined up to the side. You kind of get to, they paved the way, basically. So that's a big one, Also blessed to have good friends, you know what I'm saying? You included,
Appreciate
shout out.
Shout out.
Yeah, my mom always tells me, like, when I tell her about my friends and stuff, she's like, yo, you're actually like, yeah, pretty good friends, not a lot of people have that, so I tend to kind of recognize that as well. And I think third is one of the biggest as well as religion, like having faith and kind of growing in my faith and my religion. I think has helped me really like have a balanced life and get centered. For sure.
Yeah, and I can't lie, I resonate with those three things. I know, like, for me, friends and family they've always been there, because, like, it's been times, like, especially when I was, like, younger, and maybe I wasn't just seeing eye to eye on things with, like, my parents, like, if I'm not going straight to my sisters, I'm going straight to my friends, like, they're always there whenever you have issues with family, and vice versa, too, and I think there was definitely a point in time where I had valued that a lot more, just because, like, maybe I would have arguments, or we just didn't really see eye to eye with me and my parents. But as I've gotten older, I've seen, like, how valuable it is to have family, for sure. And not even just, like, direct family where that's, like, siblings, parents, but also, like, cousins, uncles. Like, it really is a village at times, Yeah. And I think when you get to that stage where you're kind of, like, leaving the house or leaving family, that's when you kind of transition into that state of relying on friends more, you know. And good friends, it really shocks me because, like, I have, like, a lot of love for my friends and, like, the people in my life, and sometimes I realize just how lucky I am because I recognize that that's not how it is for everybody.
For sure. Who you hang around with can definitely have an impact on you.
Yeah, your circle.
Yeah, so you have to pick wisely.
Yeah, and this is actually going back to, like, with the parents earlier, because, like, you know how, like, if you're hanging around certain people, your parents would be like, nah, they'll be like, stay away, don't hang around them, this and that, and it's like, these are my friends.
Yeah, you're like, damn, you don't know them, like,
But then as you get older, it's like, I was wild. Yeah, I should not have been around that person.
Yeah, you get to see what they're talking about, for sure. I mean, I'd say, like, all my friends are different. We have our differences. We're not all the same.
Yeah.
They probably do things that I don't do, and I do things that they probably won't do. But at the end of the day, they're the type of people that I can always learn something from. They're the kind of people I can rely on when things go south. Because friends are not always people that you have good times with, They should also be there when, times are, like, not so good. So, yeah.
For sure. I think, like, I have, like, different friend groups, and I get different things from said friend groups, And that's not to say that, like, I have no commonalities with any of my friends. We're similar, but we're also very different in ourselves and our own people. And I think being able to rely on just anybody or some people at one point when you need it is really big, because I think there have been times in my life where I've been a lot closer to certain friend groups than others, and that's just kind of reflective of who I am in that stage of my life.
Yeah, that's true. You kind of... Sometimes some friends, they grow with you, some don't. It's unfortunate, but you still, you're still grateful for the time you had, because you kind of shape each other into who you become now.
Yeah, for sure. And I think going back to your last point about, like, faith and like religion is something that I've definitely been more mindful of as of late in my life, just kind of being able to be better, just trying to grow in a sense.
Yeah. For me, like, I started taking it pretty, like, seriously after I moved here, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Back home, I still would consider myself religious, but I was mostly going through the motion.
There's levels to it.
Yeah, there's
really levels
to
it. Yeah.
You know, because you're home.
Yeah.
You know, when something happens, you're
you
gonna
don't
eat.
got a choice.
You don't got a choice. You're
yeah.
gonna eat what your mom makes you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Wednesday, Fridays, that's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I never really asked, like, the deep questions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I never, sometimes I might have been curious, but the culture back home is don't question.
Very.
Yeah, it's like if you question too much, they're gonna be like, okay, you want it, brother. You need to calm down. So I had to kind of find the answers to those questions now as I gotten older, I'd say.
Yeah, and I think that's something that I definitely would, I don't know if like change, but I like more conversation around that because, like, as a kid, like, this is how I know, like, I'm not, I'm not ready to have kids anytime soon because, like, kids ask so many questions.
Yeah.
And it's always why.
Yeah, it's never a stop. It's just it goes down.
It's the same one, and it's like, I don't have the energy.
You gotta be like, yo,
with.
My guy, we don't know all the way.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of patience, and that's why, like, sometimes I get it when it's like, because I said so, and then you just cut it.
It has to end somewhere.
Yeah.
So I get where they're coming from for sure.
Yeah, but I think with being a child and like just wanting to learn or like grow and everything, you just naturally have to ask questions. And I think in that space specifically surrounding religion, because it is a very big part of people's lives, whether or not you subscribe to the same religion, it is quite literally the philosophy, like the cornerstone or foundation of your life, your lifestyle, how you live. Yeah. So a lot goes into it. There's morals, there's values. It's a lot of times it dictates who you are as a person, like how you decide to live your life. So as a child who is still very new to this life thing, trying to figure things out, the only way you learn is by asking questions. So if you don't know anything, you're trying to learn more, you kind of just get hit with the because I said so.
Yeah.
When that person's not around, it's like, they didn't say anything, so I can do what I want now.
Exactly, yeah. You start interpreting it in your own way if you don't kind of try to find the answers, which can lead you to like a very dangerous path, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I tried to do. I don't know why it suddenly happened. I think maybe as I grew up, I wanted to kind of...
It was your frontal lobe.
Yeah, like I started growing up and I was like, okay, I really need to understand what I claim to believe, you know?
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, because I think after some time, like, when you spend a lot of time around it, or like you spend a lot of weekends going to like church, whatever this and that, after a while, it like you said, going through the motions, like, you don't really think about it. And then like one day it's like, what am I doing here?
Yeah,
like,
one day somebody comes and asks you like a hard question, you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, you're like, all these years here,
I
have no idea.
Exactly.
You know? And then it kind of like it causes you to question a bit more, like, am I really devout? Like, am I devout because I go here and like I'm here every weekend, I do this and that?
Yeah.
Or can I even call myself devout because I don't really know it in my mind, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. And there's always going to be that person who's going to challenge you and be like, yo, why you all of a sudden turn vegan on Wednesday and Fridays? And you're going to be like,
that's the whole other thing, because like coming here versus back home,
completely different. Oh my God, bro. It's actually crazy.
Yeah, like...
Yeah, trying some here is insane.
Yeah, like, I swear that's when food comes. Like, I swear there will be no free food on campus, nothing at all.
Yeah.
The first week to its own, everybody's just got free food
everywhere. Free pizza giveaways.
Yeah.
Free goodie bags. Free everything.
Yeah. That's where the temptation comes into it too. Really testing your character.
For sure. I know you did the big
Yeah,
Or,
yeah.
the past one, yeah.
Yeah, it was, because I did it, I think, once in, like, high school. But, like, I'll say for sure, like, my mentality at that point versus where I'm at now, definitely not the same. It was more so of, like, going through the motions, and I was like, I'll do it. You know, kind of, partly because my parents were like, oh, you should do it. And I was just like, I don't want to, but I'm going to do it, you know. But, like, this time around, I felt better about it because I knew that the motivation to do it was intrinsic. Like, I was doing it because I wanted to, like, challenge myself, you know, grow. And I felt a lot better, honestly, after it. But, like, when I tell you those 2 months were rough, it was,
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it. It's not a...
You see me.
I've seen it. I've seen it, gang.
Yeah.
And, kudos to you, though. That's a big achievement, for sure. Like, going through that, like, it just builds discipline. It builds clarity. And it kind of really puts things into, like, perspective. It shows you, hey, you know, I can persevere. And at the same time, gets you closer to God. So it's a big thing you did.
Sometimes you really got to do it. So a lot of times you just have to do things for yourself to, like, convince yourself you can. Because, like, me personally, I was like, that's tough. I was like, I could never, you know. And it's kind of that self-doubt that holds you back from doing a lot of things. Not even just, like, religion and faith, but in life. If you don't think you can do something, you can't do it.
Exactly.
Like, your mindset is arguably the biggest thing.
Yeah, for sure. And, like, when you know why you're doing it, instead of, like, you being told. Because I knew a lot of friends, especially back home, where they saw inside the house, and then once they leave, going crazy. Burgers, pizza, you know, they go insane. And I'm like, whoa. So, once you actually know the reason behind it, and once you know, like, why you're doing it, when you have that why factor, the how doesn't matter, you know.
No, for sure. And it goes back to the thing where it's like, if you grow up kind of having been with your parents and, like, they kind of influence you or do a lot of things for you, once you're out of there, it's really just up to you. And then that's when you kind of, you see who you are, like, who your character is.
That's when you kind of, your true self.
Nobody's telling you what to do.
And that's why it's very important to have a good base. You know, there's a lot of people that just kind of lose their way. And it's funny, though, because I've seen a lot of people come closer to, like, get more religious or, like, be, like, have, like, stronger faith after, like, they go through something, you know, they experience life for the first time by themselves. And then all of a sudden, you know, they're like, whoa, I need something to, like, anchor me down. And
I think part of that goes back to there's, like, some developmental theory for, like, psychology with, like, the stages of development through life. Like, it's Erikson's stages, and if I'm remembering correctly, I think between, like, 18 to 25, like, that is, like, the period you identify as, like, identity versus, like, isolation or something. But the main tenet of it is that 18, like, that's when you're graduating high school, you leave the house, you go to college, this and that. And that is when you really start to shape yourself into who you are, into your identity. And a lot of times that can be kind of stunted if you're still at home, because you don't have as much freedom to really do things or act as you would like to, you know. And I think that's, like, why you said why some people, after having gone through an experience, start to maybe grow more closely, because having certain experiences, especially if it's a negative experience, like, it's like it can go one way or another, because sometimes what might drive somebody to go closer towards God or religion might push them farther away from it.
Yes, that is very true. And you know, thank God we were in the we turned out the good ways. So but my journey was pretty. It happened right after I came here, I'd say. Just seeking questions, seeking answers to questions I had, and the more I kind of understood it, the stronger I felt in my base. You know, after that, I kind of
you felt more grounded.
Yeah, and I felt like I had more confidence to interact with other religions as well. Because before that, I couldn't even get into like debate, you know, because I didn't have anything to say. I'm like, if they ask me why, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know what to say. But now, it's like, I feel more rounded.
Yeah, and I think that's interesting because, like, I have a lot of respect for people from other religions because at the end of the day, like, the way I see it, I believe what I believe, and that's based on my experiences, influenced by how I've come up. And at the end of the day, like, that's how it goes the same for other people because it's like, if I did not grow up in the situation that I was in, like, I could have been like, maybe I could have grown up like Buddhist or a different religion, this and that. And then that's what I think is the truth. And something that I've realized is that my truth is my truth. I believe what I believe, and I think that's what guides my life and my lifestyle. I don't have all the answers. I don't know anybody does. Nobody does.
Yeah,
but
nobody does. I
think that's why, like, I'm not the first person to kind of shoot down somebody, like, if they have, like, certain beliefs or, like, come from certain religions where it's like, oh, that's stupid. Like, I don't think you should do that. Or, like, I don't agree with it. Like, I could be wrong. There's no proof that I'm right. And I think kind of being able to go at things with an open mind is what allows for healthier discussions between people. Because I think there's definitely a lot of animosity when it comes to different religions.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Yeah. And I think, that comes from just not fully understanding your own, so you just project it, and it's a defense mechanism to hide what you don't know, basically.
Yeah. It's a lot easier to point the finger at somebody else than yourself.
For sure.
All right, so kind of like we have like maybe 15-20 minutes left, so I kind of wanted to start steering it towards like the end of the episode. I know that you said you're pre-med, applying to med school, so how are you feeling about post-grad life in general?
Yeah, man, senior year went by pretty quickly.
Yep.
And it's that time that you have to really think about, life after college. So, initially I'm going to take a gap year. I'm going to take 2 gap years and just build up my resume and do the applications and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking at doing after graduation.
Yeah, and I know, because you said one of the biggest things was with comparison, and med school is all about comparison. Just like looking at those applications, test score, people volunteering at wherever.
For thousands of hours, cure cancer, has 5 publications. You're right. It's literally you're being compared against thousands and thousands of people. So it is daunting to think about because you're always gonna feel like, wait, what have I done? Have I done enough?
Yeah.
Have I, built like a perfect resume? But I think you just have to be honest about it. Put what you've done, do what you like doing. That's what I kind of learned throughout my time, because if you try doing things because other people do it, you're not going to put your full heart into it, and it's not going to be that productive.
Yeah.
And medical schools, they want to kind of, because they see they see thousands of applicants, right? They want to see something unique. They want to see like, what did this person have that's like uniquely theirs that other people don't have?
Yeah.
And you never know. You might have something that, like some people don't.
For sure. It goes back to the thing where it's like you're more than a test score, a GPA, this and that. And I think that is kind of the downfall of a lot of people sometimes, when you spend so much effort into kind of polishing the resume, making the perfect application, but when you hop in that interview and they ask, who are you? Or ask, what's your character? What is there about you? That's not really something you've taken the time to consider. Exactly.
And say you do fake it and somehow you make a perfect resume. Once you get in there, it's gonna be hard. Because that's what they're trying to screen out. They're trying to screen out people who actually want to be there and deserve to be there, and from the rest, right?
Yeah.
So you really need to be honest with yourself, create an honest application showing yourself, and if it's meant to be, then it will happen.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, certain things, whatever is meant for you will find you.
Yeah.
But that is if you are being authentic to yourself. Because if you're not being yourself and you're portraying an image or trying to be somebody who you're not, then you attract whatever that person attracts. But if that's not you, then you don't attract what you need.
Exactly. And everybody has a unique story.
Mm-hmm.
Like we said, nobody's in the same path. Nobody came, exactly from the same place. So just highlighting on that and not being overwhelmed by all the other super applicants that are there. Just being confident with what you got, putting in the work for sure.
Yeah.
Like that goes without saying. You need to put in the work.
Yeah.
But the rest, you have to leave it to you have to leave it to God.
Yeah. I think because there's a saying where it's like comparison is the thief of joy, but I would like to add on to that. The second half, I had a conversation with my cousin. I added it and I was like, this is a bar. I need to write this down somewhere. But comparison is the thief of joy, but also the provider of clarity. And what I mean by that in the sense is that comparison, like, it's very easy to get wrapped up in it and to compare yourself to people or, kind of lose sight of who you are trying to be somebody else. But on the other end of things, it also provides clarity in the sense of where you are. I feel that if you're going to compare yourself to anybody, you should be yourself. Because going in with perspective, the only person you can compare yourself to is yourself because everything is the same. You're the same person. So using that perspective to kind of compare yourself to where you have been before to versus where you are now provides you clarity, gives you a benchmark, kind of shows you where you have been, like the growth that you've made in a sense.
Okay, and to add to that, I think that's a great point, and there is one quote that I really love by a psychologist called Jordan Peterson, and he has a book. It's in his book. It's like 12 Rules of Life, and the quote goes, I have it pulled up in case I mess it up. It says, compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. So it just goes to show, as long as you're improving, as long as you're doing better than how you were doing yesterday, you're still growing, you're still doing it. This is, like you said, this is a marathon, not a sprint. Yeah. So as long as you put your head down, keep working.
Yeah, because I think I really agree with that, because when you look at things from like just an individual perspective, like when you look at yourself, like you said, like if you were to ask yourself 5 years ago or tell yourself where you're at now, you'd be like, whoa, like that was me. Like I did so much. Yeah. But like when you kind of fall into that habit of comparing yourself to like somebody else, then it's like, damn, like I'm not doing enough. But nobody has been where you have been. Exactly. And with that too, like kind of saying that life is a marathon, not a sprint. Just because you're not where you want to be now doesn't mean you always will be. And I want to expand on this. You gotta really deep it though. So
I'm gonna deep it. Okay.
So look, with life being a marathon and not a sprint. Yeah. Like with a sprint, like 100 meters, 10 seconds, sprints are very short. And when you ask people who like what they want in life, what they want to get out of life, people want to live a long life. A lot of people don't want to live a short life, in a sense. And that's kind of what a sprint is. You kind of go, it's higher intensity, higher output, but it can be over just as quick as it started, right? And that's why I kind of go back into the life is a marathon, not a sprint, because you want to live life for as long as you can. And part of that is because you have more time. You have more time to do things. And with time comes knowledge, comes wisdom, comes learning. And with a marathon, it is very long, as us Habeshas know.
We know.
Yeah. It's a very long period of time.
Yeah.
And in order to even run a marathon, to train for it, you need to build yourself up. You need to get the endurance. You have to train. You have to start running longer distances before you can get to that point. So to even run a marathon takes quite a certain level of conditioning, right? And with life being the marathon that it is, like we said, as a kid, when you're young, you don't know much. You're new to the whole life thing. You're just trying to learn, trying to figure it out. But the beauty of life and living that marathon is the longer you run it, the farther you get into that race towards the finish line, you get better at it. You learn more, you experience more, you gain more knowledge. And at the end of the day, where comparison lies in that lifelong marathon is in the sense that marathon is, you're the only one running it. You're not racing against other people because your finish line is not the same as theirs. So being able to just run that race at your own pace, because the finish line will come eventually, but what time it gets there, how long it takes you to get there, is more dependent on you. You can't look around at others trying to see who's in front of me, who's behind me, because nobody except you is running that race.
Mm-hmm. I hear that.
Yeah.
That was deep.
Yeah.
That was deep.
Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, that's real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean, I feel like that was a lot of things that I kind of wanted to cover for today's session. If there's anything else that you wanted to bring up or just speak on that maybe we didn't really get a chance to.
No, I think we covered everything we need to cover today.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you for hopping on the podcast.
Of course, man.
Took a little convincing, but we're here. We got it done. It did. But at the end of the day, it happened. And I would like to thank you for making an appearance.
Mm-hmm.
And we will see you next time if you want to make a return appearance.
You never know. You gotta stay tuned.
Okay. We'll see next time.
Right.
But we're going to cut it off here. Thank you to everybody for listening. I'll see you next episode.